Let's go to the crypt. So, it is a Saturday morning, so if you do hear banging doors and people yelling and barking dogs, well, that's a Saturday around here. All right, so what we do now to get the best advantage out of running these, you want to run them at 5 levels above your level. So I am level 20. I'm going to run this at level 25. I personally find this to be optimal, at least for now. You have all of your abilities, and the mobs don't get outrageously strong, so it's probably the best overall advantage, I would say. I'm going to pop a hireling again just because, you know, best practices and all that. Plus I got to burn the timer off, so burn the timer off. My hireling's here. Get him to throw me a death ward. Do buffs. Standard procedure with the buffs. I do have some extra spells. For the most part, that's not going to be a whole heck of a lot. Honestly, should probably go with fire in here. There we go. And then everything else is just the same. Basically the same spells I had before. I might turn somebody into a frog for you just for funsies. Shadow form, fire that up because why not? I just hate these tables so much.
As you enter the tavern, you notice the smell of rot in the air.
And as you can see, it's got a Halloween theme. Gotta love the pumpkins. I'm gonna shoot these things because again, these tables just infuriate me. Welcome to our tavern. We're still getting the place ready for a big opening, though there was a bit of a ruckus the other day, but we're ready for customers in no time. And what a menu we'll have. Just yesterday, our purveyor was able to obtain a rare delicacy for discriminating palates. And what delicacy would that be? Well, our purveyor was able to gather something that I haven't been served in this area for some time. Of course, only a select few appreciate it, but our purveyor said that those who like it will kill for it. The stench, the moaning outside. You didn't buy a bunch of brains by any chance? We did. Why do you ask? You and your brother may want to leave quickly. And shooting guys. I do have
Gruesome shapes begin to fall from the ceiling above.
The blue flash that you're seeing is the Week of the Dead, which is
Pounding can be heard from down below.
and as you can see,
The mummy and its servants drop.
significant improvement in the DPS. Hopefully this one's all right. Because down here, this guy, and this guy. Die first. You're wondering why he's just hanging out there and not doing anything. That's because
Thorn has been slain.
knocks the guys down on a level. This guy right here.
The shriveled corpse crumbles to
And
bits.
just like that, just
With
remember
the
you gotta bring
mummy
your pots for
gone,
this.
Maxwell Stadler nervously
Because-
returns to the tavern.
Mummies do curses. And I totally borked that because I forgot to pop the potion. Damn it. Okay. Well, can't win them all, Chad. And as you can see, 3 minutes got me 77,000 experience points. So, definitely this is the way. So I'm going to pop that potion. Alright, sorry about that. said it's Saturday morning and people just have the need to bang on the door for the most preposterous of reasons. So work my dummy here. And one of the things that you should probably realize when you're running these things, and Ginger Spice makes mention of this when he's talking about it, is that
an overwhelming stench assails you as you
challenges are
begin to
actually
explore the hideout.
there's no like hard lead settings on a challenge. You set up a level, but ultimately it's not, you don't get champions
The
and you don't get
door
reapers or
is
anything else. It's effectively
locked tight and
like
can
running it
only
up
be
on
opened when the
so
runes are
you could
lit.
theoretically
Look for two mechanisms that will unlock the door when activated.
much higher difficulties than I know some people do. I, on
The
the other hand, am not
rune
looking
begins to glow.
for a
It
tribulation.
looks
I am
very
just looking
similar
get
to a
these banged
rune
out as
found
quickly
on the
as
locked
possible.
door in the central corridor.
So if I can get that done in a short order, then I am more than willing to do so. And I will probably dump this as a mod, but it might be as a single mod simply because these are so short that there's not a whole lot of point in me dumping like 3-minute shorts all separate. That's just a lot of extra editing, which would take more time than the actual video. So I'm just not going to bother to do that. I'm just going to probably put these all up as one night Revels lump sum run. Since I'm not other in the area, I'm just going from one place to another.
The guttural groans of shuffling undead can be heard through the door. A muffled voice squeaks. The door shatters as several creatures shamble towards you. Malkiric the Lich bids his creations to attack. Malkiric shouts as Malkiric crumbles to dust. A feeling of calm settles throughout the room.
Gonna have to. And I gotta run it again, chat. Gotta run it again. It's gonna be a bath. All right, well, it is what it is. How much time did it take? 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Forgot to go around the side and kill the other guy. That's what happens when you don't have coffee. So I'm gonna try that again. Fortunately, I've got 80 bazillion keys, so it's not really that much of a crisis. Try that again. So let's just so we get the full experience. So I might actually end up that one.
An overwhelming stench assails you as you begin to explore the hideout.
Trap there, so you're gonna wanna watch over that. Don't stand in it like I just did.
Slain.
That's what we should have done. Nominal grease on that time.
The door is locked tight and can only be opened when the runes are lit. Look for 2 mechanisms that will unlock the door when activated. The rune begins to glow. It looks very similar to a rune found on the locked door in the central corridor.
So, that is what is important. Completely disregarding my own health. I don't even care. Chances are that I'm like, what, 6 points of damage?
The guttural groans of shuffling undead can be heard through the door. A muffled voice squeaks, "Right, you serve me now!" The door shatters as several creatures shamble towards you. Malkiric the Lich bids his creations to attack. As Malkiric crumbles to dust, a feeling of calm settles throughout the room.
So I actually did that faster than the first run. And it was still more than 10,000 XP a minute. So, needless to say, these are well worth running. Alright, hopefully there won't be any more gaffes. Just Snitch and Lich. Okay, let's hit this one. Okay, sorry, I was getting a skipped frames notification.
The distant sounds of panicked voices and scattered fighting echo from the walls. The moonlight reveals a path amongst the rooftops.
Chat window. That's not really what I wanted to do. So anyway, if anybody's trying to type to be in the chat, for some reason the chat box is not operating. I don't know why that's happening. Alright, so that's it. Anyway, not gonna worry about it right now. I gotta pop burning. So run through here. This guy. So it's also a lot of the challenges have monster manual kills in them.
The sound of fleeing townsfolk rises from the door, begins to strain as a creature thrashes against it. The mummy collapses into a pile of scattered bandages and fetid dust.
Level settings, he's pretty tanky. He absorbs a lot of beating. As you can see in here, he's not that much of a concern.
The door opens. In the distance, you can see a lever, which seems to control the next gate. The gate opens, revealing a courtyard and a ladder. Dark creatures begin to appear from the shadows. The ladder slides into place, allowing access to the rooftops above.
Turned back on. That's where we just came from. So
The zombie in the courtyard looks strangely familiar. Broderick Nettle's undead form slumps to the ground. The tattered form falls in defeat, and the feeling of dread that surrounded the Lich fades.
Now, you don't get anything exciting out of these. You do get the challenge rewards, but all the chests are just plain old random loot junk. So it's not really something you need to concern yourself a whole lot with. Alright. So got that knocked out. Gravework. Okay. Let's see if I remember how to do this. Come in.
An unnatural darkness has descended upon this valley, and a
Doris
restless
says, back to
wind
Revel Area
roams
Sulykka, you
through
have
the
a good timing.
trees.
I've got business
A
to settle with
lone
you.
warforged
Remember that village behind
stands
me? Well,
beside
you
the
should.
road,
The locals now have
scanning
30-year
the
actions
landscape.
there as the Matador Massacre. Things have been quiet until recently, but ever since Maybar's reappearance in our world, the place has been crawling with undead that need dealing with. The Matador chieftain was in charge in life, and the same seems to be true in afterlife. Get rid of him, and the rest of the should follow. Unfortunately, he's been hiding in Delure, orchestrating attacks from behind the scenes. Maybe he'll show up if we say his name 3 times. Sometimes I forget the squishy sense of humor you have. I wish I would keep it that way. You need to draw the chieftain's spirit from Delure, and before you ask, no, I don't have some convenient new invention to give you for that purpose. I'm tired of solving your problems for you. I suppose just this once, you'll have to face the consequences of your actions. The necromancer lives in the woods somewhere around the village. Maybe he knows how to help, or perhaps not. Either way, you can handle this from here on out. The Matador Massacre? Of course you forgot. Typical meatbag. Some time ago, I enlisted your help in freeing the Medusa convoy for assassinating the chieftain, but you got a little too bloodthirsty and slaughtered the entire village of Minotaurs, innocents included. Just so I've made myself clear, I'm blaming you for this mess. My intentions were nothing other than businesslike. No one aside from the chieftain and the Medusa needed to get hurt. Maybe he'll show up if you say his name 3 times. Okay, so I've done that. Ease up, and it's all my fault business. I'll be taken care of.
A necromancer has made his home
also an
somewhere
interesting
in
rewriting
these
of the
desolate
facts,
woods.
Because that's
You'll
exactly
need to
not what I
find
did.
him before you can face the
And it would still
Minotaur
have been her
chieftain.
fault anyway. So she is very much a typical government employee. I want you to do this thing, and when you've done it, it's now your fault. Anyway, you don't have to go bumbling around over there. We just run over to the side here. The necromancer is up there on top of the hill.
You found the necromancer, but the spellcaster is under attack by a group of scarecrows.
Should be giving me words. Speaking of which, they always want something. Can our drive to live in the woods, isolated from all society, without some big shot adventure coming into servants? I guess not. So do you need assistance drawing a spirit from the Lord? Lucky for you, I happen to have a spell too that might do the trick. Here I've imbued this talisman with the magic you need. If all goes well, the portal should open up and the spirit should be thrust into our plane. Consider your
Grimsby
debt
the
paid.
necromancer hands you an enchanted talisman. Now to find a way into the seemingly abandoned village.
Should get the fires going. You'll see that occasional random deck start happening. Prism Stance, which I twisted out of the Sharati, and then I have also twisted Double Rainbow, which gives random effects. So all kinds of strange and wonderful things can happen when my attacks go off. And we're circling around the back here because we need to find a secret way in, and the only way in is that Repair Ballista. Also, hiding here in the muck.
A gnarled mass of pumpkins and vines rises from the swamp. The Supreme Pumpkin and his minions sink into the swampy pumpkin patch.
Objective accomplished. And this is another objective, so it fires us in.
Minotaur skeletons patrol the cursed town, hungry for revenge.
Yeah, it says there's some Minotaur skeletons. I haven't actually seen one.
You found the chieftain's final resting place. You remove the necromancer's talisman from your pack and hold it out toward the gate. Before you know it, a portal appears. The Matador chieftain
These guys out. Which is probably true. Okay. Yep, that's the next star. And now we just pump this clown full of lead.
The chieftain's bones clatter to the ground. This time, you vanquished him once and for all. Or so you hope.
Now we fire away. You're back and still alive. Wonderful. Well, as much as I'd love to chat, I've got work to do elsewhere. I'd ask how it feels to write a previous song, but I don't expect you'll be giving this very much thought. Congratulations, you've won a random assortment of treasure I just happen to have. Happy, good. Ah, treasure. That's my real takeaway here. Just like that, that's level 21. 116,000 experience for 6 minutes work. It is not too shabby. So I'm going to take that and run. Okay, so this one gets to be a little bit more time consuming. You'll see when we get in.
The darkness of Mabar
So,
has transformed
fire up
this
our guy.
place into a corrupt shadow of what it once was.
inventory. I was trying to clear out this old warehouse, but it's become overrun with the presence of Maybar. What happened here? A bunch of kobold workers have died mysteriously down here, maybe because of all the forces of darkness that were able to infiltrate this place. Say, would you do me a favor and help me clean up this mess? All these pumpkins and whatever else might be in here, I've gotta go. Sure. Okay, so what happens is we gotta go through, and as you can see, this place is just full of these pumpkins. And so they've all got to be destroyed, basically, and that takes a very long time. So fortunately for me, I brought along my trusty cacophonic verge. And this does, in addition to...
The way ahead is blocked.
It blows up pumpkins. And it blows up pumpkins in an area of effect, which means I can just aim it into corners, and that cleans up a lot of mess. There's basically no combat in here. But it does make life a lot easier. So when I'm running around, I don't have to pin them exactly. I can just kind of aim the general vicinity of the pumpkins and they will explode.
A door opens nearby.
Alright, and the map gets a little bit confusing. At least I find it a little bit confusing, but people may think it's not a problem. It's easy to get turned around in here. So that gives me the key, and the key opens this gate. Now this will be the first
unlock
time
the door
down here where we actually have combat. So what I like to do is just get the pumpkins cleared out top. There used to be another Night Revel as well amongst all these, so I'm clearing all these out. I forget what it was called. The Resurrection Chamber, maybe? And it was basically based on the old Coalescence Chamber map. However, they quickly realized that it was very long quest that had a very good chance of doing it if you didn't have search. Any idea of all the challenges is that anyone can do them, and you don't have to be a particular race or class to do them. Slow, and as I said, it had a very good chance of failing if you didn't have true seeing or somebody who could search. One of the optionals was hidden behind a secret door, and that's just not okay. Okay, so we did in fact kill all the shadows. Shoot down. Oh, yep.
Something about this area seems strange.
So if you want, you can unlock that. And that gets you an additional chest. Again, not super sexy, but it is what it is. Now these guys actually mobs that we got. Collectible on the backside. Ubiquitous mortar and pestle that appears just about everywhere. Pop your thing open. There's any pumpkins in here? I don't think there are. So anyway, that was the next optional. Beat up the crates. And I think at this point, there is no more combat. So we can just go around here, blowing up pumpkins. So that these are spaced out in such a way. Really? So, because I think there are these enemy pumpkins still around still. Now you might run through these quests and then you get close to the end because you know the map. You're like, oh man, there's so many pumpkins. Like, how am I going to get this optional? There are magic craft time to get to the last one. Should, if you've gotten at least most of these, you will not skipped a whole bunch of mad dash through. This is actually quite easier to run. There's a bunch of people running around clearing up pumpkins. It goes a lot faster than just one person like myself running through, which is why it's slow to solo. So anyway, so now he'll disappear and appear in a couple of random different places, which is another kind of frustrating mechanic. Can be hard to see. Let's see. Yes. Alright. And oh, somehow I missed that one. This door is unlocked. As you can see, it's just lousy pumpkins in here. So what I like to do is I'll park myself a ways back so I'm not blocking any of the aggro, because there's going to be a bunch of mobs in
You
here.
spot shapes up ahead, evil creatures that are called forth by the endless night. You favor this small victory over the forces of darkness.
And we are all done. So that took 8 minutes for 83,000. So as you can see, there are still, but you have to get all the optionals before you complete. If you get them after, it doesn't count. So that's why it can be kind of trying for some of these things that, you know, it can be difficult. You might kill the boss before you finish all the optionals. You can go find the hidden pumpkin, but you've got to go all the way back to the beginning of the quest. It's just not worth the grief for another random chest. You can't pull ingredients in the chests, so there's not much point in going back. So that's all taken care of. Smash pumpkins. Keyword Foundry. Good times. So let's pop this in. Alright. And as you can see, I did pop a 30% learning, so that's one of the reasons why I'm getting so much experience out of these quests. You don't have to, but if you want to get best value for your money, this is kind of how you do it.
There have been rumors of strange things stirring within the now abandoned Haywire Foundry. Yet all seems quiet here now.
This place is wrong. Things have been digging in the ruins of my master's foundry. These things need to be buried once and for all. Things, where did these things come from? Undead creatures have gathered here, doubtless attacked by Master's occasional experiments with the planar energy of Maybar. I do not understand how undead penetrated the ruins of the foundry. My master was always so careful with security. Perhaps the first undead to arrive was non-corporeal? In any case, the undead are digging up the ruins. This should be stopped. Not only are the undead dangerous, but so are the devices they are uncovering inside the factory. I'll stop them. Anything else I need to know? You make your way through the ruins. You may find your way blocked by barriers my master installed to secure the foundry. You may disable these barriers by activating wards. Find all the undead and destroy them. Once that is done, I will ensure that the foundry remains securely sealed. I'll activate the wards and destroy the undead. Possible. Probably featherfall over that faster, but why do things the easy way? That's our family's motto around here. Why do it easy when you can do it hard?
A dusty puzzle wheel sits here, dormant and unsolved.
So as you can see, it's not a particularly what you got to keep moving.
A pale form stands before you. Then it grins slightly, revealing a set of fangs that betray the creature's true nature.
Turn that clown inside out. Alright, moving on. So again, it's very hard to inclination animation to destroy all this stuff, because as we know, property damage improves learning, but we're not actually improving our learning, so we don't have to destroy it. That's very frustrating. Why did that not go off? This is a little bit more turn to hurt me than the other guys. I actually have to pop in here. And I'm gonna fire up my... Did I not activate the fourth word? I did not.
A spectral form materializes nearby. A chill of fright runs down your spine as it approaches.
What's that? And again, well, that was not terrible. So about 10, again, about 10,000 XP a minute. Pretty easy stuff. Haverdashed, this is probably arguably the easiest one in here. Either this or under new Ravishment, you know, take your pick. Both of these are super short. Takes almost as much time to buff as it does to run the quest. So anyway, there's undead down there. But you know,
The sound of ravenous groans from behind the door sets your nerves on edge.
And I gotta tell you, chat, having done some streaming, I have a whole lot more appreciation for people who do voice acting. It is not so easy as you think. Voice talent is just that.
The desiccated corpses collapse with a sickening thud. The last of the skeletal forms clatters to the ground. With one a muffled shout can be heard from the passageway. Lindalay has been slain.
Stuff. Grab that. Lindalay is not particular. This gets a little frustrating. She can
crumbles to dust as you strike the mortal blow.
2 minutes. 89,000 experience. Doesn't get much better than that, chat. Does not get much better than that. So we've gone all the way around the outside, which means the only thing left is Eternity Unleashed. Now, way back in the day, when this was still Maybar, there was basically an open raid that you would run to fight this dragon, and you had to set people in different rooms and direct mirrors and do all this odd stuff to basically kill this dragon. But it was an odd thing because it was a public area, so a lot of things didn't work and attacks didn't work, and it was just this very convoluted thing, and it lagged like crazy because of the instancing and stuff. So they eventually had to finally just get rid of it. The whole mechanic was different. Like here we're running through, and these are basically challenges and in separate instance quests, whereas before it was all in a public area and monsters would spawn in the graveyard, and there was a lot of kill sniping and level scaling, and it was just this kind of convoluted mess. So this is while it's not as dramatic, it is a lot more streamlined, and it is a lot faster to get through. And so as an homage to those original days, they put in this quest, because one of the things that was the most precious was the spectral dragon scale that you had to run the dragon quest to get. But now you can just run this one and get the same thing. And frankly, I feel like the rewards here are significantly better than they were in the old ones. So, you know, a lot of people are just very, very, stuck in their ways, right? My car gets 40 rods to the hogshead, and that's just the way I likes it. Well, the rest of us would rather be driving a Tesla. Thank you very much. So, let's just move on.
Eternity, the spectral dragon, lies imprisoned
let's be real. The good
far
old days
below
were not.
Dalera's graveyard. The creature's jailer, Yvonne, is eager to
As
speak
my
with
father
you.
once
To
said,
imprison the spectral dragon,
these
you
are
must
the good
relight
old
the
days. He
crystals
says,
that power the
the
central
emperor in the old world did not live as well as the poorest person in our society. No? And he was correct. Nobody wants to go to a time without Central Air or Netflix. That was just those were dark
cultists
days.
loyal
Once.
to eternity
Best believe in
have
the
broken
past.
in and disabled the mechanism that held the spectral dragon. You must reopen the oculus before eternity breaks free.
All right.
As the lever is pulled,
So the first
the
time
gem
through,
above
the trick to
shoots
this
a
is
light
that you
beam
don't have
towards
to
a
do
nearby
anything on
mirror.
the first lap.
As the beam
You go
hits the
through.
crystal, a voice from the central chamber bellows in rage.
Servants! Stop these intruders before they ruin everything!
So technical narration, but you don't have to do anything to go around and kill the cultists and pull the switch to light them. Okay? I know you're probably tempted to pull these ones, but don't do it. Right here, pull the switch, laser comes on, off goes the beam. So on the first try, you don't have to do anything except kill them and pull the switch. Okay, and on this one, yeah, obviously you've got a puzzle. I also, I like to do the puzzles sort of from the back forward, because that way I'm sure it connects properly. And obviously these red tiles you do not want to light up, so don't do that. Just make sure that they line up in a way conducive, so that's going to come up and around. Back through here, down, across. We're going to turn this one over so it doesn't set off a trap. This one will go over, this one will go straight back here. Oh, no, it's not going to go, so that one goes up. Brings left here, and then I have to bring it around the world. This way, this way, this way should be good. Oops. laser?
A beam of light strikes the gem, and the oculus in the middle of the structure grinds open. An eerie voice booms from the central chamber.
That accursed moonlight. Not again. Stall them, my servants. I shall not be imprisoned again.
The magic that kept the gate locked vanishes as the creature falls. Moonlight shines down upon eternity, making the spectral dragon vulnerable to your attacks.
Okay.
The door to the upper area closes behind you, trapping you in the chamber of eternity.
You want to stay as clear of her as possible, while simultaneously staying as close.
The last glint of moonlight vanishes as the oculus closes.
Well done, my servants.
Booms eternity.
With the accursed moonlight gone, the intruders cannot harm me. They are trapped within the chamber, so I can kill them at my leisure.
Alright, this is going significantly faster.
Yvonne calls to you from above.
I've opened the gate. Quickly now, make your escape.
The gate to the west is now open, allowing you to return to the outer passages.
Alright. So, what we do here now, we can just go out that way, but I'm going to take this D door out, and the reason why is if you take the D door out, it does not trigger the nasty mobs that would otherwise be down here. What happens is if you don't, then you'll get spinning nightmare skull face things, and they fill the whole thing. You can't run past them, and so you have to duck into these side chambers and wait for
In
them
the
to go by.
chamber below, Eternity is preparing a ritual that will destroy the wards that hold her once and for all.
And they're super duper slow. But if you do it this way, and D-door out, then you don't have to do anything. You can just run around at your convenience and do the drill. Now what happens this time is you come through and you grab the lever on the inside wall and you pull it 3 times. Okay, most of these are fairly simple solutions. And basically all it means is that the lights are going in the opposite direction. That's the long and the short of it. And that's why you don't touch them. If you touch them the first time, then they will still be out of position. You'll have to spend all day turning them around. So again, basically the same. Squares like this are permanently grayed out. They can't be moved. So you always have to kind of work around those in your puzzle solutions. So that's actually a much smoother and more elegant way to get that done. It comes across here, goes up, here, here, here. Should get all the way end. Zang. Alright. Well done. As it fires off.
A deep mechanical scraping can be heard as the oculus
now you will get to
grinds
see,
open.
because this doorway is
In the
actually
central
the trigger.
chamber,
So-
Eternity bellows in outrage.
I'll hit
Creatures
this.
emerge, surrounded by necromantic energy and dangerous to any who approach.
Now you will get to see at least one, because there'll be one at the bottom here that you can't avoid. these guys. And again, I'll try to sneak by the edge. Not worked. And otherwise, those guys will be the hallways upstairs will be full of those. So let's see if Sully can do this. She must count suspected. So she has taken poison damage.
Yvonne shouts from above. Seek cover, quickly!
What happens if she blows up? You gotta hide behind a pillar.
Eternity bows in defeat, bathed in the moonlight. The spectral dragon freezes in place as her magical bindings return. Eternity is a prisoner once more.
Something's still dinging her. Alright. And we are done, chap. Fast and easy all the way through these. So I may go ahead and run a couple more quests. What I'm going to do is take my level, and then I'm going to grab some of my level 21 gear. And that's not a whole lot of fun to watch on stream. But for those of you who have been here, thank you. This is my quick Saturday stream to go through the Night Revels for you. Again, I'll probably post these VODs with minimal editing. It'll probably be all kind of one large lump, just because they're like 3 and 4 minutes at a crack. So, you know, realistically, the whole thing added up to about a half an hour, maybe. So I'm just going to go ahead and post that all as one. But I do appreciate you all being here, and I would like to thank you, and I will see you next time. Take care.